The Wooden Adventures of Thomas the Tank Engine, Episode 45, Proteus Revealed. Special thanks to Murdo McCoy for suggesting this episode's title. It was another busy day at the Blue Mountain Quarry. Smudger was getting ready to leave the quarry with a large load of stone. But as Smudger came up onto the bridge, he saw something up ahead. Smudger was so in shock that he slammed on his brakes, and his front wheels came off the rails, and then he and the entire train went tumbling off the side of the bridge and onto the track below. Just then Luke came speeding out of the tunnel and he crashed into Smudger's wreck. "Luke," cried Smudger, "are you alright?" "I've been better," said Luke. The mess took several hours to clean up, and soon Luke and Smudger were taken to the steamworks. Scruff and Reek brought them to the steamworks by cargo car. Marion, Toby, Victor, Kevin, Donald, and Douglas were all there. "Smudger, my friend," said Victor, "tell me, how exactly did this accident happen?" "Well, it's going to sound crazy," said Smudger. "I was going along the bridge when suddenly this yellow engine appeared right in front of me. I only saw him for a brief second, and then he disappeared like a ghost. I was so startled I braked and I came off the rails." "Was this engine yellow?" asked Joe. Yeah, I did say that," said Smudger. "Did it resemble your handle?" Yeah. I knew it. It's Proteus." "Who's Proteus?" asked Toby. "I heard of him," said Marion. "He was an engine who used to work on the Scarlet Railway. They say he had a magic lamp that could grant wishes. But then they say one night he disappeared without a trace." "I know what happened," said Joe. "The night that Proteus disappeared, he was sent away to another railway, the other railway. This was long before the diesels took over, so there were still steam engines working on the railway, and there was a small narrow gauge railway for Proteus to work on. Then, one night, after it just stopped raining, Proteus went to sleep on a siding near a standard gauge junction. Unfortunately, the signalman inside the signal box had dozed off, and yet left the point switched to the wrong line, and there was a train coming through that needed to go the other way. Proteus blew his whistle loudly to get the signalman to wake up. The signalman woke up and quickly changed the point so that the train could pass down the right line. Unfortunately, the cliffs by the side of the line were still unstable due to the rain that had just passed, and Proteus' loud whistle triggered a rock slide that completely buried him. When he was finally rescued, the damage was beyond any repairman's capabilities, so Proteus was sent to the scrapyard. "Poor little engine," said Scruff. "Say, how do you even know all this, Joe?" "Because I was there when it happened," said Joe. "I was the signalman's motorcycle. I was parked right outside that signal box when the accident happened." The controller blamed the signalman for Proteus' death. If the signalman hadn't dozed off, Proteus wouldn't have blown his whistle, and if he hadn't blown the whistle, the rock slide wouldn't have happened. But instead of firing him, the controller decided it would be much more suitable to take away his motorcycle, said Joe. So I was taken away from that signalman, and I was sold to Rodney here, and I came here to Solar, and the rest, well, is history. Wow, said Luke. Joe, I never realized you had such a past, and same for Proteus. But then why has Proteus been appearing on Sodor so many times? Asked Donald. I certainly do not know, said Joe, and he wasn't lying. Guys? There sitting on the transfer table was Proteus. Return the lamp to where it was last found. Promise me you won't let me down. Find my rails if you hear my call. I'm the savior of you all. What just happened? Asked Marion. A ghost just appeared and spoke to us. That's what happened, said Scruff. He said something about returning our lamp, said Reek, and finding his rails, said Kevin. What do you think it means? Asked Marion. What could what mean? Came a voice. Bear and Spancan had arrived with parts for Smudger and Luke. The engines told Bear and Spancan what had just happened. Said Bear. Return the lamp to where it was last found. From what I remember, the lamp was last found at the scrapyard. Maybe this Proteus engine wants us to return his lamp to that scrapyard, said Bear. No, that can't be right, said Spancan. Find my rails if you hear my call. There are no narrow gauge rails at the scrapyard on the other railway. I think the last place before the scrapyard where the lamp was found was that junction where the narrow gauge siding was. But if we want to return the lamp, said Bear, we need to find the lamp first. I have it, said Marion. Last August, I was taking Peter Sam out for a rock slide at the Blue Mountain Quarry. I found an old broken headlamp in there, and Peter Sam said it might be Proteus's. Well, Marion, if we want to stop this ghost engine from haunting our railway anymore, we're gonna need you to give us that lamp so we can return it. Marion didn't want to give away something she found, but she realized she didn't have a choice. Alright, she said, I'll go back into the clay pits and get it. And she hurried away quickly. Marion went back to her shed at the clay pits and retrieved the lamp. She then brought it back to the steamworks, where Bear and Spancan were preparing to take a train to the other railway. Wallace was part of it, and he was thrilled to be a part of the mission to return Proteus' lamp. Take extra good care of the lamp, said Marion, and don't lose it. So Bear's driver put the lamp inside Bear's cab, and Bear and Spancan set off for the Figgerstown Bridge. They reached the bridge and soon made their way onto the mainland towards the other railway. They made their delivery and soon arrived at the junction where Proteus had been hit by the rock slide. Bear's driver took the lamp and walked over to the narrow gauge siding. He then put the lamp under a bunch of rocks so no one would find it. Then he went back into Bear's cab. Spancan and Bear were going to go back to the loop and turn around. They began to reverse the train when suddenly they bumped into something. Then, around the corner in front of them, came Diesel 10. And several other diesels followed behind him. Bear and Spankin were surrounded. "What is the meaning of this? Let us pass," said Bear. "You two trespassers won't be going anywhere until you hand over Proteus' magic lamp," said Diesel 10. "Why would you want that lamp?" asked Bear. "Because it grants wishes, of course," said Diesel 10. "And you can probably tell what my wish will be." "You would want to wish that all steam engines and diesel engines that don't support your plan would be scrapped," says Spankin. "That is correct. Absolutely 100% correct. Now tell me where it is, or you'll be Pinchy's next meal." "You've got 10 seconds. 10, 9. None of the diesels noticed a small yellow engine appear in the siding. His lamp turned on, and suddenly the points behind Diesel 10 changed. "Brace yourself, Bear," says Spankin, and he charged forward and pushed Diesel 10. Diesel 10 was shoved down the other line and bumped into Baron, and his back wheels came off the track. Spankin quickly pulled Bear back. The points changed again, and Spankin and Bear hurried away. "After them, you fools!" shouted Diesel 10. Parker, Travis, and Raymond started to speed down the other line. Then there was trouble. "Whoa, stop, 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 stop. No, 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 no. Ah! Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Zachary was so caught up in the moment that he accidentally rolled forward and came off the rails. "Ugh, you idiots!" shouted Diesel 10. Spankin and Bear hurried down the line and soon made their way back to the Vicarstown Bridge. Once they were back on Sodor, they hurried back to the steamworks as fast as they could. "We returned the lamp," said Wallace. "Well, that's good to hear," said Smutcher. "Lamp returned means I'm finally free. Thank you so much for helping me. I now leave you alone till the end of time. Alright, enough with the nursery rhymes." And with that, everyone cheered, knowing that the island would no longer be haunted by that yellow engine.